Alright everyone, welcome to Deep Dives with Dogs. Well, if any of you follow my daily series, we talked about one Louis Pasteur today, a French scientist who came up with some pretty important discoveries and inventions. Louis Pasteur is the one that we credit for germ theory. Kind of like genes, but not quite. But germ theory. That's Louis Pasteur. He created a vaccine for rabies and for anthrax as well. Anthrax is definitely pretty bad. Not a great one to get, you know. Realistically, actually, though, I didn't realize you could get a vaccine for it. Man, he wants to go under the trees. It's like, no, man, you can't go under the trees. It's a little dog. But, yeah, Louis Pasteur. Also, his work with crystals, I believe. I don't remember exactly what the whole crystal something. There's a longer word for it, but as I am not a scientist, it escapes me now. But helped with optical lenses. Louis Pasteur also invented pasteurization, or at least the way that it's used more modernly. Hence where the word gets its name, Pasteur, pasteurization. You know, pretty important guy. A lot of his inventions would greatly help the world. Anthrax, pretty bad. You know, if you get anthrax, not a fun time. They're quite deadly. And obviously, one of the most important discoveries is germ theory. I almost said gene theory again. Germ theory. Pretty important. We don't really realize it now, but the discovery of germs, which is something that people had kind of an idea of for a long time, actually like thousands of years. There was actually things way back that it was little demons that would be on your hands and stuff like that would get people sick. They weren't quite off. I mean, it was kind of correct, but it was like the Romans that believed that. But the discovery of germs, and including germ theory, will change the world, just realistically. Doctors will be eventually forced to wash their hands, make sure they're very clean before they do a procedure. It's a small thing that we don't think about today, but a lot of people died because their doctor infected them. Good example of that would be actually a U.S. president, James Garfield. James Garfield gets shot, and realistically, if the doctors had done nothing, he probably would have lived. The bullet would have been kind of not absorbed into his body, but kind of it would have been fine where it was. It would have been fine. But the doctors go rooting around in there looking for it, which leads to James Garfield getting an infection and dying. Didn't really die from the gunshot, but died from the infected wound because of a doctor. So you can see how important finding out about germs is. Another one is a vaccine for rabies. Rabies is probably one of the most dangerous diseases on the entire planet. Probably right up there with the flu. The reason being, rabies is you just can't cure it. You give things to prevent it, like the rabies vaccine, but curing it is just not really a thing. You just have to kind of wait out the body. For at least a human, you have to usually wait out for the body to fight it itself, which it can do, but it's very unlikely that people will necessarily survive. It's super not great. If you see an animal with rabies, it's very dangerous, kind of has to be put down a lot of the times. A small side fact, you know, a lot of people blame American possums for rabies. It was a big theory in the 20th century for sure, and even in the 21st century now. But possums actually don't typically have rabies. Their body temperature is a little bit too cold for rabies, typically. So there you go, now you know. But yeah, so it really goes to show how important Louis Pasteur is. His discoveries, his inventions will help millions and millions of people and potentially prevent people from dying in a way that maybe before they would have. And you can't forget pasteurization. I'm not gonna forget that at all. Pasteurization, obviously, very, very important for a lot of food stuff that we do today, and a few other things we can use it for, but besides just food. But yeah, so very important guy, Louis Pasteur. French guy, super great. Really glad he helped us out. But yeah, and now you know. If you guys like the video, leave a like. If you have any ways I can improve these videos, leave a comment down below. I appreciate your feedback. And as always, subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Thank you.